Hello, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcasts. And you know what? This week I'm going to say we are awesome because there were some awesome things that happened on Monday. And I want to give Meelz his little victory lap here. J5 here, Justin here with Meelz. What's up, Meelz?
It's the holidays, huh?
Yeah.
We're already here.
Yeah.
This will be the last episode before Christmas. Um, are you doing anything special for Christmas? Is there anything you gifted yourself for Christmas?
Yeah. I got both I'm on my year fives. So that was my gift to myself.
I feel like it would have been any point of the year you would have got that for yourself. So
I got that, and then uh I bought some clothes and
do the dogs get anything for Christmas? How
yeah,
about that?
they're getting new leashes. They're getting their re-up on their leashes. In
Okay.
fact, I need to order and or go buy them this weekend, but
See, this
I need
is why
new
I'm
leashes.
here.
Need new leashes, new harnesses. Um yeah, they need it all. They need all
Are
of it.
you're a last minute shopper? Are you like?
I'm
Have you
not
done
though.
the?
This
Oh,
is the
really?
most last minute I have ever shopped. Ever.
Wow.
This is the
I mean,
most
it's the
last minute.
19th. We got a couple more minutes, but yeah.
I shop you like I start in October. I wasn't even thinking about Christmas in October. So
Wow.
it was a strange thing. But again, like so much stuff was happening. Like I went to Japan and then I got back and we are trying to recover from that. And so like like a more it was a different fall season for me.
There's something very like exhilarating about shopping the day before Christmas for Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's something it legitimately, I don't know if it's just New York City or what it is because I haven't celebrated Christmas anywhere else, but it definitely feels like that Hey Arnold episode with the Spumoni the shoes thing, where Helga tried to get Arnold the shoes so she could give them to the guy so he could help find the Asian dude's daughter who's been out in Vietnam during the war and stuff like
This is
that.
so I don't even remember that. So
You don't remember? Damn, you got to watch that Hey Arnold episode, man. It's a classic. Um, I don't even know if they make holiday television like that anymore for kids anymore. Like the holiday special was a thing, like Rugrats, Hey Arnold, um, Doug. Um, I don't even know if they do that stuff anymore, man. We've lost the holiday spirit. What are we doing? We're on Twitter. What's holiday now? The Blueface and Krishan, Baddies West Holidays.
uh Anthony Edwards send the video.
Send the video. That's the holiday spirit now.
Yeah,
Damn,
that's the holiday spirit. You know, that's it. No one's really talking about Christmas on there either. But
it's crazy. I don't know. It's not, but
I did something cool over the weekend. I got to see your team on
oh
Saturday.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, you went to the
they just at one point they just gave up. I was like, all right, well,
because they had played the night before. They
uh,
literally played the night before, so they were like, "Nah, fuck this." And Jalen Brunson had scored 50 the night before, so it was like that was a big thing because he'd scored 50. Who was it against? It doesn't even matter at this point. But he had scored
they got
50.
their ass spanked. They got their ass
Well,
spanked. I said,
well,
walked into the crypto, and I was like, damn, this shit looked like a goddamn collision show, bitch. Shit wasn't even full, bitch.
listen, everyone's saving their tickets for Monday night because the Knicks beat the Lakers on Monday. They returned to the crypto and said, "Listen, we got to handle business." So I respect that. They saved the good energy for the good team. You know what I'm saying? Even
Nigga
though
was
I guess the
trying too
Clippers
hard.
are performing better. Yeah, I guess the Clippers are performing better than the Lakers currently.
Oh, I
Um,
nigga. Oh, I nigga. Fuck them anyway. Retire.
uh,
Oh, nigga.
I am still on the watch for the A show stuff. So today I have FedEx actually open right now, right?
Mhm.
Today, because I know what FedEx is about to do. You know what FedEx is about to do. It says currently the final thing so I can ship out all these stuff. Uh, it's supposed to be here. It says by the end of the day, estimated between 10:20 a.m. and 2:20 p.m. Now, 2:20 p.m. is like less than 50 minutes from now. So if it's not here in the next 50 minutes, I know what FedEx is about to do.
Hmm.
And I just want to let you know, if it occurs during the show, we will definitely live call FedEx and ask why no one actually came to my door. Because the worst thing about holidays is when you're supposed to get the package and then they say, "We tried," when they clearly did not try. I don't know if that's something that occurs with you. I don't know if it's just New York City. I don't know. They don't even leave a note. They just said like, "We attempted and no one was there." And I was like, "You gotta be fucking kidding me. We've been home all day." Um so I'm ready to have my heart broken by this thing. I'm constantly refreshing FedEx. I want to make sure we get this thing by the end of today. I want to make sure everything's out before the end of the week. I want to make sure people have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, that's like
Um,
a perfect Christmas thing to have. You know what I mean? A lot of people
yeah.
saw the shirt on our 0 through 5 or our our 5 through 1 video for the A show, the A list. Shout out to
Hmm.
everybody that watched those videos. Everyone was like
That's
really
crazy.
up. They were up like, yo, where's the next video at? If you haven't checked out these,
9 a.m. People were watching it, bro. Like
yeah,
that's sick.
yeah. If you
Like
haven't
if
seen it, check it out on our YouTube. They're all up now. So
I low key was like, I mean, granted we have the time difference, so this could never happen. But like a morning show, come on now. The real first take, come on now. The first take before first take.
who waking up that early?
I know you're not waking up that early. That's what I'm saying. I was like, that's why the time difference, it would never work. But imagine if it did. Waking up. I mean, if Stephen A can wake up early, you can wake up early. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Stephen A be on the West Coast sometimes. He be at 4 a.m. in his little green screen, chopping it up. So you never know with Shannon Sharp. Um, but that did, that was so. Shout out to everyone who tuned into that. Um, I didn't really see much problems. The only problem is people are like, Edge did not belong on this list, and I was like, okay, thanks.
I think a lot of people did not feel like the Edge thing belonged. I'm not gonna lie, like it was argued down by Cyrus a couple times. The Edge thing, Uh, I maybe he might have been like the one that we could have booted for something else. I don't know.
I don't know what else we could have booted for because we consolidate. The thing is that like we had a lot of options and we chose to consolidate a lot of entries on it for the sake of talking points. Like for instance, Sammy and KO win the tag team championships. That could have been a thing, but we consolidated it into the Sami Zayn kind of thing. So we didn't. We wanted to talk about the most like between a bunch of different people
Right.
while not having to repeat the same conversation like 3 times. Because I know if we're doing one video, like for instance, if you're doing the first video, we have Sami Zayn wins the tag team championships. You're going to talk about all the stuff that we're probably going to talk about in the last video. Um, so I try to consolidate as much as I can. Edge was definitely well. If it was up to everyone in the thing, none of AEW would have made the list.
Yeah, but I mean, I think people are looking at it from the sense of like, okay, Edge is there, or Adam Copeland is there, but he hasn't made an impact, so the moment might
Right.
not be worthy. And I think we're thinking there, a lot of people are thinking of it as like a present tense type thing, and not like at
Yeah.
of that time.
Right.
I'll say for me, because we pretty much knew he was gonna do it, that took the sting out of it. I feel like
Right.
if he would have debuted like next September, that would have been like, oh wow, he really did it. You know what I mean? But the fact that it was like 2 weeks after just kind of took the bite out of it for me.
No, that's true. That's definitely true. Um, Before we get into any all these other things, I just want to do a quick news run through. Quick
Mm,
news. This is sponsored by thedailysmark.com. So shout out to the Daily Smart. If you need your wrestling news, get to the wrestling news at thedailysmark.com. Um, Live.
yeah,
Live Friday Night SmackDown. We're live. We're chilling. This is a couple hours before SmackDown for you. We get the report. Liv Morgan arrested um, for possession of marijuana in Florida, and I was like, in Florida of all places, like Florida allow you to like, you could wave the blicky out the window, but you can't.
you could do just about anything there, but you can't smoke weed because that's some hippie liberal shit, according
That's
to Florida.
crazy.
Yeah.
I was just like, come on, free live. And then we found out. Then if you actually read the article, you knew that she was free like 24 hours, like later the day that she was thing. But still, that's kind of nuts.
Yeah.
Um,
But well, it came out later that it was just they found the paraphernalia in her car and it didn't belong to her. And I think that might be like WWE trying to clean it up, but that was
mm,
the story coming out of it the day after because she had gotten arrested Thursday. We just didn't find out until today because she had already like got bailed out or whatever. But the story allegedly is that it was something that belonged to one of her friends or something like that.
she got a lot of friends. You know what I'm saying? Could be anybody.
I mean, listen, I think they're saying what they got to say to get her out of it in Florida because it's Florida. You know what I mean?
Get out of Florida, live. That's
Yeah.
what they told her.
They can't get out of Florida. That's what I'm saying. Like, do you think or ever wonder? Well, I was gonna ask,
But
like, do,
she probably got to circle back around for a court date eventually in the future anyway. So it is what
yeah,
it is.
but do you feel like, and this is a crazy question, like, do all of the wrestlers love living in Florida? Like, other than like, I think they have like relatively low taxes or no tax. I think it's no taxes. I don't know. I could be wrong,
No
but
taxes.
it's no taxes, right? But
Right,
do
right.
you think they love living out there? Like, do you think that's honestly like the place where they want to be? Because like everything takes place in Florida for wrestling.
I think it's because of the weather. You don't really have to worry anything, especially flying out of Florida. I mean, other than the hurricane season, I guess. But
Flying out. You can. I think depending on where they're at, like Tampa, I think has an international. But I think a lot of places, wouldn't some of them have to like fly to Atlanta first, then go out? They like a lot of wrestlers be having layovers and shit.
I mean, yeah. But I feel like that's a because of how many airports and just kind of like the weather. Like I know most people live. Like even I think Asuka still lives in Florida. Like
Yeah, this is crazy.
you know what I'm saying?
They got foreign
Like
cars.
yeah, she be out shopping. I was like, you better be careful, Asuka. There's people out here. You got pink and blue hair in Florida. Um, but nah, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. I can't. Anyone who I can ask doesn't live in Florida anymore.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
um, oh my god, I just got a call from an unknown number. I hope that wasn't FedEx. Um, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. Let me take it off Do Not Disturb. Either way, yeah, it's a. I don't know. Yeah, just don't do it. Just stay out of Florida. How about that? If you can. I know most NXT people have to live in Florida for the entire time they're in NXT. As soon as Kevin Owens left NXT, which was like 6 months later, he moved back to Canada. He was like, nah,
He
this is
lives in
a
Canada now? I thought he still lived in Florida.
nah. He lives in Canada. I think his whole family went back to Canada. I'm pretty sure.
I could have sworn he was still in. I gotta let me text Cornell. I'm gonna text Cornell. He would know. I'm gonna text
Yeah, I mean, all Cornell's friends live in Florida.
him.
I feel like yeah. I don't know.
I mean,
Must be
Roman I heard has a compound in Tampa. Like that motherfucker run it. Cena too. Cena still lives in
Cena,
Florida.
the helicopter pad. You remember that from Total
Yeah,
Divas? You could
yeah.
fly a
He's
helicopter on
still
his
lives
crib.
in Florida. I mean, they're not getting busted with weed, but I'm just saying, like, I feel like if Liv, I be hearing that Liv, and I actually be like have friends that like know her, and she be out here all the time. I know that
For real?
I know that like a lot of like wrestlers like they live all over. You know what I mean? But like the majority of them live in Florida. I wonder if LA Knight lives in California. If LA lives in LA.
No way. I mean, he probably did at a previous point in his life, maybe when he was like in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? He can tell you about LA in 2004.
I gotta live where QAnon is. Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Where is he? Said born in Maryland, built from. I don't know where he lives now. That's a good question. Where do these people live? How about that? Interesting. Also another bit of news. Charlotte Flair done tore it all up. Knee gone. ACL,
Can we,
MCL,
in- can
meniscus.
we introduce that like a little bit better?
Oh, I'm sorry. Charlotte Flair to undergo surgery for torn ACL, MCL, and meniscus.
Tore it all up is crazy. That's
I mean,
just
it was tore
that
up.
that the thing about that injury is that it looked like a really bad fall, and usually like you'll see like I honestly felt like when I saw that fall that I was like honestly, she be looking like she gets banged up from the moonsaults to the floor more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it
Cause
looked like it,
she just be doing backflips, bro. She don't land on people.
yeah, like that shit be looking crazy because Charlotte's like a tall person. So like, yeah, like I mean, we've seen her do the moonsault and then land on her feet from like 14, 15 feet in the air. But it took
Yeah,
when I saw it, I was like, damn, it looked bad. I like when she snapped her neck back, I was like, definitely a concussion for sure, right? But like,
absolutely.
you know, seeing how much that she hurt herself in that, and then like still continue the match, which is crazy. I would not advise anyone to do that, but and they honestly should have stopped it. I don't. Do you think? Do you think she knew that she tore anything? Because like even in the match, she's still fucking running on the fucking leg. She's still doing moves
The
on her.
thing is, the adrenaline is always going to keep going. They never really stop the matches at all because of how the adrenaline rolls. But once it wears off, it wears the hell off. But I think she would not have wanted to stop. Um, Wrestlers are crazy, but I also get the adrenaline and intensity and stuff. Now, if you like Daniel Bryan, where your eye is broken, don't wrestle. You know what I'm saying? You knowingly entering a match that you're injured, that's stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but getting injured during the match and wanting to finish, it's tough. It's probably not the best thing to do, um, but you know, it is what it is. Um, she finished the match, and now she's out for 9 to 9 months to a year. So
I would
tough.
say, because of just the wear and tear on her body. Um, I know she's like relatively older. I'm not saying she's old. I'm just saying like she's like not in her 20s anymore. So
Sure, yeah, of course.
like
Who are we to complain, huh?
the recovery I think probably will take a little bit longer unless she's like Super Cena. But it sucks because it puts WrestleMania in flux. I think that we had all been expecting Bianca and Charlotte, like the queens of WrestleMania,
Mm-hmm.
to face off with against each other this year. But it leaves you with some interesting kind of choices that they could make story wise to make sense for people like Becky, people like Bailey, people like Bianca, without Charlotte in that picture. And this is like the second WrestleMania Charlotte's missed in like 3 years. She's only made one. She's only been on one in 3 years, I think. Right?
No, she's been on two. She's been on against Ronda and been against Rhea
Oh
past
yeah,
2 years.
yeah. Yeah. And
She missed 2 out of 4.
I was at both of them. I'm bugging, but I think that it's just sucks. It's a terrible accident, and it's gonna take off a year of her career. And I think ultimately that's when we think of it that way, it's like this is a Hall of Fame career that, and she would have been able to make some fucking Hall of Fame moves in terms of just matchmaking and stuff like that, and it just really sucks. I think that there was a big money match with her and Bianca, and we're just not gonna see it now.
Do you
But
think? Well, go ahead.
they can stop being hoes and just give us Rhea Bianca like we want.
This is true. This is true. I think no, it's true. It's true. They can really give it to us at this point, so we can see how that goes. Um, Love to hear that. Other bit of news this week: CM Punk watch.
Oh God.
CM Punk was at NXT last week, and everyone's complaining about how he taking everyone's girls and all this other stuff like that, like being very very weird about this man literally going to work and enjoying everything that he said he wanted to do in AEW, doing it in WWE, literally during the fourth week of him being there.
Nothing weirder. Nothing weirder than y'all can act like y'all can forget about CM Punk's history, but I'm not. Over fucking girls, fucking women, over
Or
getting
posing
butt,
with Nikita Lyons, right?
over fucking but like over fucking chicks and getting butt. He's cheating on his wife. What that got to do with you? What does that got to do with you? What's wrong with y'all?
People are weird, bro. It's nuts. Let him go to work.
Look at him. Somebody said, yeah, I got intel. What? Shut the fuck up. Nobody cares. Also, What that man do with his private parts and what them women do with their private parts ain't none of your business, man. What's
But
wrong
I
with
don't
y'all?
even think he's always been. I think I think if you even talk with AEW, he's never had a problem with any of the women there either. So it's like I think he's just more naturally like nicer to women and more aggy with guys. Um, but even it is what it is. Like, yo, mind your business. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Um, let's see, what else do we have here? Lots of tapings. SmackDown was taped last Friday, so whether you want to watch it or not, it's up to you. NXT was taped last Tuesday, Wednesday. Whether you want to watch it, it's really up to you. um,
I think
let,
I'll be having it on in the background, but
I'll
not.
definitely, yeah. I want to finish the Yu Yu Hakusho live action thing, so I'm gonna probably watch that tonight. Um, Final Battle, practically taped. Watch it. It's up to you. um,
Cut it out.
let's see.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm gonna tell you right now. Athena is not my women's wrestler of the year. I'm gonna say that right the fuck now.
I mean, I could not, in good
Not
faith,
even
say it only
not
because I've
even
not watched any of her matches in
not even close.
ROH.
Here's the thing. If I can find your wrestling match next to a Mr. Beast video and it's like a first run, I'm not doing it.
You're
If
insane.
your if your fucking match is next to fucking Bobbish cooking video, I'm going straight to Bobbish. All right? If I see
Listen,
Athena versus goddamn olive oil, Athena versus fucking mischief, whatever the fuck, I don't know. I'm not watching it. I'm not
hey,
doing it. I don't give a fuck.
I respect it. I respect the decision. Um,
She is wrestling Shade Tree Mechanics. She got the Intercontinental 24/7 Hardcore title, as far as I'm concerned. I'm not
oh my
watching it.
god.
Stop hyping it up. You know what? I gave her a lot of shit earlier this year, but Naomi stepped her game up. I think
Listen,
she's rightful 1, 2, or 3 on
hey,
this list.
hey, hey. No one talks about Naomi went to an ROH taping. Everyone was like, "Oh, is she gonna be at ROH?" And she never came back.
She said, "This shit is ghetto. I'm going to the warehouse. I'm going straight to the warehouse."
They're like, "Ain't nobody here."
Lights flickering. They can't even fill up. They can't even fill up the building that they in. Awesome spots from the match that she had. Well, which one is it? Sky Blue, Billy Blue,
Billy
Billy Starks,
Billy Billy Starks.
Chelsea Starks. I seen some clips. Whatever, whatever.
It is what
Listen,
it is. It
Tina's
is
a
what it
fine
is.
hand, bro. She's a fine hand. But you know what happened? The hype starts getting to them, and they start saying like the thing that's getting me right now is that people are like, there's always alternatives, and you can outgrow the most popular so you outgrow the most popular company to dick ride the second most popular company. How does that work?
I don't know.
How
I'll
does
be
that?
honest. I I'll be honest with you. Athena's talented, yes, but the ceiling is incredibly low. Like it's so low that she is hopping over. The bar is incredibly low that she's hopping over it with ease, and that's just it's just her star is a million times bigger than her company, and she knows that too. But she's willing to be there because she the man there. She Undertaker over there. You know what I'm saying? She practically run the joint. She the most notable damn from ROH, and this is, I guess, what she's always kind of like wanted. But I don't know if it didn't translate in AEW. She got kicked in the face her first match there and booted out the territory by Jade. So we'll see how that goes. Um, few quick
I, I
things on
I don't get it, but yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I want to do a few quick things on SmackDown and Raw, and then we head into the year end talk. Um, SmackDown, Roman Reigns back, anointing Solo Sikoa the Tribal Prince.
So, I said, sounds like a new T-shirt, pal.
That's crazy. Randy Orton comes out. Legend Killer's back apparently. Um, Carmelo Hayes, Grayson Waller have a match. United States tournament. Carmelo Hayes wins. Uh, I thought that was interesting. I feel like Waller should have won, but
I don't
whatever.
like the fact that they beat Theory and Waller on the same night. I might
I
be
agree.
unpopular opinion. I might be unpopular opinion.
No, no,
I
no. I think well, it probably is, but I agree.
I think that ultimately with this team, they take just so many L's, and the only people that they're really allowed to beat is like Cameron Grimes, which is kind of like fucked. It's just kind of like, what? But like Cameron Grimes, who like they seem to still want to do things with because he's in some way, shape, or form every week on TV. So I guess like we'll see something happen here, but um, I think you either could have spread these wins out or not have them in the same fucking bracket. But then if you move into the other bracket, they're still gonna get beat. So it's like again, they're kind of like pigeonhole. Like and to be fair, I'm a lot more cool with Grayson losing than I was with Theory losing. But it is what it is.
I feel like they could have switched it around. We could have got like, um, we could have got Santos and Kevin Owens on one side, and
Mm.
Bobby and Waller, or Bobby and Theory on the other side. Something along those lines. They could have switched it up. Um,
I just got
interesting thing.
confirmation. I just got confirmation. KO is still in Florida. I thought so. They were just at Disney.
Oh, really? Okay.
They,
Look
they
at
met
that.
they met Brendan Fraser or something like that at
Oh
Disney.
yeah. I guess. Yeah. I guess he wouldn't be in Canada. Um, is Brendan Fraser from Canada? He feels Canadian.
Let me see.
Brendan. Yeah, Brendan Fraser.
He's Canadian, yeah.
Oh yeah. See, look, you can look at him and know. I know a Canadian when I see him. I know a Colin Mockery ass motherfucker when I see him.
Oh man,
Let's see what happened. Damage Control wants all the gold. That's what they're
really
doing
good,
with this.
really good pre-tape vignette. I thought they don't
Hmm.
normally do that. Like that shit was really good. I this is a they have a very big squad. I just wonder who's gonna be there to like take them down. But then again, they got like a 8-person tag team.
This is
Match.
true, but the opposition, the learning curve is crazy now that
Yeah,
Charlotte is strong. They got a holiday match this Friday.
I
It's
know EO. I know EO.
it's
Like fuck, thank God.
first of all, it's Damage Control, which are like elite of the elite, versus Bianca Belair. Amazing. And I think it's Shotzi, Michin, and Zelina Vega. And I'm just like, damn.
That's cool. That's cool. Only one of those people on the babyface team don't belong.
We
I'm
will
glad.
actually find that one out.
I'm glad they're giving Michin some reps. I'm glad they're giving her something to do. I'm not gonna lie. Like I felt like she was on the back burner. Now can we get the devilish women active? I think that's what we need right now. Is
I
devilish.
I absolutely agree. But then SmackDown ended. Apparently, J5 sent a covert sent AJ Styles on a covert mission to smack
Yeah.
the shit out of LA Knight.
He said. I said, hey man, hey fuck that nigga, man. He just said, you damn right. Fuck him.
Um,
God damn it.
what's it? How
What do
did I'm trying to think. What did I want to say? Uh, I don't remember. Oh, everyone's thinking they're like, "Yo, AJ Styles, you on the juice?" Um,
just like that.
just like that, straight like that.
It's fucked up.
Um, but he looks great. He looks like in great. He looks in great shape. On Raw last night, amazing show. Oof.
They
Yo,
didn't have to go that hard, but I get it.
I like that they did though. You know what? I
Yeah.
like that they did because it is the holidays. They're like, listen, if you're all gonna be off for 2 weeks, you gotta we gotta go. And by the way, CM Punk versus Dominic Mysterio, also an MSG. Um, I don't think I'm gonna be going to that show. But
Oh.
yeah, WWE 2 times in 1 month is crazy. I don't work
Some
there.
people went a little too hard. I really want to talk about the tag match between the Creed brothers and the Judgment Day.
Mm.
Um, I'll say it right now. It was a really good match. But it got chippy at the end. I got really chippy at the end, and there were two Brutus balls handed out. Brutus bombs, sorry, handed out. One, I saw the one on Finn as it happened, and I said, "You landed right on his head and shoulders." And I said, please stop doing this fucking move." And then they had to do it again, and Brutus lands right on Damian Priest's head. Damien's head, like his whole like his face is red from like literally like I guess just like have being smushed, right? So they go through with the finish, they go through with everything. Damien gives him a South of Heaven. He gives the South of Heaven to Julius, who wasn't even the one who did it, but he gave him like a hard ass South of Heaven choke slam. And then Julius kicks out at the 3. Did you see that?
I did see that.
What the fuck? And then Damien said something. I don't know what he said. Did anyone catch that yet?
No, but text your friend, see what he said. But but uh no, I thought it could be one of two things, right? Like this happened just recently, like 4 weeks ago. Ricochet gets Ricochet gets concussed, kicks out when he's not supposed to, and that's how the match ends. I don't know if Julius Creed did the same. I want to believe he's not going into business for himself. I want to believe he ain't
That
say
was crazy.
what will Cody do in this situation. Um,
Not
even the
that.
kick out after 3. No, he wouldn't do that. He's a saint for the business. Even the kick out after 3 would be nuts. Kicking out just in general would be nuts.
He
Um,
hit him. He hit him with a fucking Hulk Hogan.
mm.
He hit him with a Hulk Hogan.
That's it's a bad look. I wonder
Like
what happens after this, but again, we also have 2 weeks off, so they're probably cooler heads prevail.
Damien was
He was hot.
like was very mad. He didn't even look at the hard camera at the end. The thing is that I know he got Finn good, but Finn didn't really react. Damien reacted, and I think that it's either I don't even want to speculate like say what it could be. I know that like sometimes things happen in the ring, you know what I mean, and uh well actually no, Rube just said that Damien said Mama Bicho. Rube from our chat said he called him Mama Bicho. I'm gonna look it
I
up.
know what that means.
He called him a dick, suck a dick, suck a dick,
Hey, fair.
or
Um,
suck my dick, or some shit like that. That is crazy though. He shouldn't have kicked out like that. And I think a lot of it comes from like it's possible that the Creeds might maybe be smelling themselves. They're getting pushed. They're young and they're getting pushed very hard, very fast. Pause.
and I also think they do have a lot of confidence in themselves. They could be smelling themselves. They may need to be humbled in a sense, and not like thing, but like just to give it a step back. They might need a talking to, essentially, of like, yo, not on this show, buddy. You know what I'm saying?
Stop the Brutus bomb, bro.
That's what we really do need to stop, though, for
Like
sure.
that's gotta go. I think that do the Doomsday device. Just do the Doomsday device. Nobody's doing it right now. Um,
Street
you know
Profits kind of do it, but yeah.
they don't need to. They do. They got the little lowdown like neck breaker. Um,
Into the
uh,
thing, like the little weird 3D, the black 3D.
yeah, yeah.
To the neck breaking. Nah, I feel you. They don't need to do it, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. That was definitely kind of crazy. Um, Also on Raw, we saw new women's tag team champions,
Mm-hmm.
Kaden Chance,
It's
Curly
about
Carter.
time.
I don't know what the fuck their names are.
It's about
Um,
time to get those titles off Chelsea and Western Union. They weren't doing anything with them. They were like,
these girls ain't gonna do nothing either.
all right. The hate for them is just
My
out of control.
well, look,
Their finisher also looks very dangerous. Like if you
yeah,
mistime that, it's a wrap. She should just let her neck breaker her first and then do the 450. Don't do it at the same time. That
I
could
don't think
end.
you can. Yeah, I don't think you can really like brace yourself for standing up and taking a 450 and then having to line on the ground. I guess you could. You essentially hold them on the way down,
Well, why not
but
do it with the handstand thing they did the other week? That shit was way cooler than that move.
I don't care about these girls. Do whatever you want. You're the women's tag team champions. I'm sure this is gonna pan out exactly how it did on NXT, where they're gonna be backstage saying interrupting people. It's like, what's that? A challenge? Did you say women's tag team titles? You must want a match. One of those kind of jazzes.
Hater, and you're a hater, and I hope they prove you wrong.
Well, I hope they prove me wrong too, but I don't anticipate it. Um, let's see what happened. What else happened on Raw? A lot of Judgment Day and Truth stuff. Becky Lynch and Nia Jax get into it.
Why is
Um,
Nia running from Becky? Is this the most confusing part of this whole thing? It's like why are you running from her?
they're both talking too much for me. They need to get to the action. But I guess we're waiting for day one Raw. Um,
Day
was
one
it
ish Raw.
day one ish Raw? Let me tell you what should have been on that day one Raw. Gunther
What?
versus Miz. Oh boy,
Go
talk
ahead. Go
about
ahead.
it.
Go
No,
ahead.
no, no. Why do I have to be the one to talk about it? You've had two eyes too.
It was a great match. It was a great match. I think I've already said that Miz could go. Like I don't know
Best
what more you want from me.
best match of his career.
No, over the Ziggler match,
I heard people saying this was the best match of Miz's career. I
over
don't agree.
Danielson, over Danielson at SummerSlam with the punch.
I I think I think this is definitely top five, but I
I'll give you that.
feel like Ziggler, Miz, Seth and Miz, um, Brian and Miz, and I think there's some other tag team match I'm forgetting about. But again, he's had a lot of listen. Miz does this, man. You don't need to.
There you go.
Gunther does this too.
Yeah, I mean, you're really just talking about one person. Like it takes a lot to do this
Yeah,
type of match, and I think they have better chemistry than I ever thought of. I had never in my wildest dreams would have ever thought that Gunther and the Miz would have great chemistry, but here we fucking are.
listen, I feel like I'm trying to think. Is this Gunther's best title defense?
Mm,
Well, I don't know. I guess Sheamus definitely counts. I think the Sheamus one is still probably the top. Um, but this is up there. This is
yeah,
really, really up there. What else happened on Raw? Santa Claus.
Kofi Claw.
Was Shinsuke? Oh,
Gunther,
was Shinsuke and
hey,
Cody?
hold on before you get to that. Gunther said, "All right, I'm out. See y'all next year."
Y'all better have this thing put together like a
I
piece of leather
said, "Go
by the
ahead
time
on."
I come back.
This man got the Roman. He got the Roman schedule. I said, "Go ahead on then. Go ahead
Hey,
on."
when you champion that long, they just have to. They deliver the contenders to you. You don't go out looking for fights. You know what I'm saying? Let me know when y'all ready. Um, but Cody and Shinsuke, magic. This is what probably Becky and Nia should have done. But
Mm, mm-hmm.
great stuff. Great stuff.
I thought that Shinsuke's English was actually really good here. The sing-song tone was really good. The delivery of it was really good. I know they
Only
probably taped it.
Daddy and inbred.
That was that was out of line. I know they taped it earlier and then kind of extended it to live, but I thought that the Cody attacking him part was unexpected, and I didn't think that would happen. They didn't even promote Cody for the show, so it was kind of like a shock that he was there. But I thought it was cool that he did
You didn't
show up.
think Cody always there, baby. Cody there when he don't need to be there. Cody probably gonna be on SmackDown last week too. I think he was on SmackDown at the end of last week.
He was he was on Raw at the end of the show too. He gave away a Christmas tree.
Yo,
Um,
that's sick.
they're it's very old school, and I saw a comment saying that Cody was on the back burner because of Punk, and I'm like, I don't agree with that at all. I think he is a fixture on the show as virtue of being the top babyface on the show, and I
Mhm.
honestly think that they've balanced Orton Punk very well beside the top stars on their respective shows. I mean, you got Orton already in the mix with Roman, and you've got Punk. And you were right, Meelz. He didn't show up this week, but they balanced him perfectly by saying, "Okay, we're going to give it a rest because you don't need CM Punk every week. He's probably not going to be on day one at
Mhm.
this rate, right? He could be.
No, I mean
He could be. That's a big show for them.
he's working that entire week, so I wouldn't be if he just like slid it in at the end of his run. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
um, I don't know. We'll know in 2 weeks. We'll know in at least a week if he's gonna be there for sure.
yeah, but back
Um,
burner, I don't see it. I think that he's running his race. I think that the story is how is he going to get to finishing his story. And I guess we'll see the Royal Rumble push proper in the next couple of weeks. But I mean, you also have Seth Rollins and the Drew McIntyre stuff, which is going to be very telling, Meals, because does he lose it at the top of the year, then enter the Royal Rumble? Which
Mm.
I think would be a cool thing to do to have, because you want to put all of your top stars there. And sorry, Drew, I mean, you'll have the belt if you do that anyway, but you put your top stars there, and then you have Seth and Punk there, and you give them a easier way to get to that match, in my opinion.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. I think that's it for Raw. We can get to the year end magical conversations that we're having here. We're gonna do, of course, as you guys know, we're gonna do one half this week. We're gonna do the next half. Well, it's not even really half, but we're gonna do another batch next week.
Yep.
Um, but we're gonna do a batch this week, a batch next week. If you guys continue to need more A Show content, head over to our YouTube. Where we already counted down the top 20 moments of 2023. Lots of great discussions there. Lots of great, people featured on this. Also, check out Stay Busy with Cornell. It's Cornell, Greg, Jeff, and Armand. Great
Yep.
episode. You guys did a
Yep.
great thing. I was like, wow, this is really like I thought I was watching Inside the NBA for a second. I was like, hold up. Um, what else? Listen to War Report last week if you ever want to listen to it, because that's their last show for the week. Cyrus says, I'm not watching wrestling for the end of the year. You know, Cyrus likes to take his sabbaticals. He's probably not even going to listen to this. Um, but he is done for the rest of the year. Um, Quan still has to put together a list, so I guess he's watching wrestling. But make sure you guys stay tuned, stay ready. I am ready to talk about A Show year end awards. This year, we also got a lot of submissions from Patreon. If you have not, submitted to Patreon, you still got another week to put in a submission. I mean, I ain't gonna be mad if you put it in for next week too. But next week, we're gonna give away a free T-shirt randomly, one
Yep.
person who
Yep.
did this. So thank you for all the entries thus far. You still have time. You still have at least until next week until we tape this show. What's the first? What's the first category we're gonna do?
I did do. Hold on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm gonna grab two more, but I asked our Discord what we should cover. So all of the topics for this week are things that the Discord um said that they wanted us to cover this week.
Mm,
So I'll just go ahead and
power to the people.
Barclays,
Democracy. There we
people
go.
power, yes. And anything left we'll get to next week. It's like literally all like the worsts and stuff like that, but it'll be fun. This will be fun. But
Yeah.
let's just start off with let's start with the male and female wrestlers of the year. Let's do that.
Okay. All right.
So do you
So
want to get our picks first, then our listeners?
yeah, we'll do our picks and then we'll do our listeners.
All right.
See where they were angling towards.
Drum roll. With a unanimous vote from myself and Meelz, the winner of the male wrestler of the year is none other than Cody Rhodes. So
Mm. I'm glad. See, and what's crazy is, so let's look at previous years, because I actually looked at previous years when I was
okay,
thinking the sheet.
I think last year I picked Seth.
We had to have picked. Well, did we? Yes. Well, yes. You picked Seth. I picked Roman.
Okay,
Um. So the reason why, I just feel like, I guess there could have been an argument made for Seth, right? In some instances, great
uh,
year,
yeah. I mean, he
but
was basically undefeated since January. That's one.
yeah, great year, great matches, great champion, all the other stuff like that. But it is 100% the Cody Rhodes show on Raw.
Yeah,
I
it
feel
is.
like Cody Rhodes has had so much impact and has been such a pivotal part and probably the most important part of the shows. Um, that at times it eclipsed Seth in their importance. And I'm talking about the Brock feud. I'm talking about the WrestleMania build, even the Shinsuke thing. I mean, the Shinsuke feud with Cody is better than the Shinsuke feud with Seth.
I'm gonna
It
be
just is.
in honestly, and I think that with if
Go
you
ahead.
look at it from the whole year, right? I don't even remember who Seth was facing when it was the Brock feud. What was it, Drew? No. What was it in August? Seth. Exactly. We don't remember. And I think that like
Right. Right.
it's not like an indictment to his wrestling skills, but I just think that Cody just had more. He was around doing more things, and I think that the match quality never dipped. I think honestly, Cody has one of my favorite matches of the year, two of them, honestly, this year. And there's so much wrestling, and we'll talk about it when we get to like match of the year and stuff like that. There's just so much wrestling every fucking week that we have to remember. You know what I mean? And we have to like, earmark this year. But I think that Cody had the most memorable wrestling matches to me of the year that just weren't interchangeable and, just could
And
have been replaced with anything else.
he knows how to make moments big moments. Like even with he hasn't been really around the world champion since pretty much WrestleMania, but he still knows how to make a moment big. Remember that moment? It just happened like a month and a half ago when Roman came out on SmackDown after him and Jay, and him and Roman had that stare down, and it was like, oh yeah, this is what we were doing this for. Like Cody Rhodes just knows how to do it. He has the matches to prove it. He's just
He's a
he's
star.
yeah, he's the star. That's what
He's
you call a star.
he is the star that they've been looking for, babyface star they've been looking for a very long time. It's organic.
Seemingly that like Seth can't really pull off in a way. Like it's
And
weird.
and that's the crazy part, right? Because last year we named Seth and Roman, and that was because largely last year Cody was gone from June all the way
Yeah.
through. So this year we get a full kind of calendar year from January all the way on, literally from January all the way now to where Seth and Cody were on the same show, on the same brand, ultimately working the same cast of characters at the end of the day. And Cody's just the more magnetic and interesting babyface, and that's not even on WWE programming. I'm just talking about as far as babyfaces go across the fucking wrestling landscape. He is the most interesting babyface character. He gets the biggest reactions. Love him or fucking hate him, he's the guy right now.
Absolutely. 100%.
Um,
Um
runner up, unanimous runner up too. Was really shocked about this. Our runner up was MJF. That's me and Meelz. Our runner up was MJF for this year. Now with MJF, I
Hold
think a
on.
lot
I
of
got
it.
I got a package. Hold on.
Well, I'll continue with MJF. A lot of what I kind of predicated and chose this decision on was the fact that he is the biggest star in that company. So there's no one else. I think an argument could be made for Osprey for sure. I think an argument could be made for Kenny Omega for sure. And I think that those would probably be my respective 3-4 or 4-5 or you know what I'm saying, like they're definitely up there, especially in a year where Roman was scaled back. I think in a lot of ways, like Roman Reigns, he's automatically in your top three every time. But this year, I think other than him having like that one big match with Cody, and of course like the bloodline feud, he was very much in the back burner this year. So it was anyone's game after Cody wins number one. It could have been anybody. But I think MJF, even if I don't always enjoy or like the promo stuff, or I don't like the story lines, and we'll talk about some of his storylines. And on this very list, he always delivered in ring to me. And I think this
Yeah.
was a year where I came around and I said, hey, he can really go. And I think that without doing all the stupid, and again, this is like, he literally did do it this year, but doing all the stupid flippy shit, he doesn't have to do that because in his matches are more memorable for it. And that's from the Iron Man match to, all of the matches that he's had, this year. I think he's just far and away like the best performer in AEW, the biggest star in AEW, and the reason that I will watch the show.
Hey, first of all, I got it. Second of
Okay.
all, we're here. Christmas is saved, ladies and gentlemen. I picked MJF because he is clearly. I mean, I don't think it's un it's undeniable at this point that he's probably one of the biggest stars in wrestling, just in
Mhm.
general. And I think his ability to carry that brand, and AEW needs is quite a bit to carry. You know what I'm saying? And I think there's been at times it's been him dragging that show to the finish line, dragging that pay per view to the finish line. I think he's someone who deeply it feels like, and you can tell from his storylines, even though sometimes they come off kooky, It feels like he deeply cares not only just about the in ring, which seemingly a lot of people care about. Because I feel like on a lot of people's list, if you're going for wrestling, a lot of people are probably going to say Bryan Danielson, right? Um, but I feel like MJF cares much more about the presentation and the overall picture of it, being that champion, being that actual pro wrestler, being that draw for AEW. And well, I can't even say draw because they haven't been drawing much lately. But I think he knows he is from the same school that Cody came from. I'm pretty sure he's Cody's protege. Um, and understands what it means to make a big moment in a big match and make things feel bigger than it is. So MJF is definitely my runner up. It was between him and Gunther. I choose
Okay.
MJF.
Yeah, I mean, and I said it earlier, like Gunther's definitely could be a 3, 4, or 5. Kenny Omega, Osprey could be a 3, 4, or 5. I think Gunther's got the best TV matches of the year. Period.
Absolutely, for
He's
sure.
one of the best TV workers. I put him up there with anybody. He's been able to get a lot. He's been able to get blood out of a stone. Out of a lot of
Mm.
niggas. Like he's been able to
All
get
right now.
anything.
All right now. Relax. This just happened 24 hours ago. Come on.
But
Um,
and again, like this isn't to say that like there aren't great workers all over. I think that honestly, my number 3 probably would be Kenny, but Kenny's always going to be in my top 5. He's one of my favorite wrestlers ever. But I think with
they need
Kenny,
to. Kenny
what
needs to. Well, first of all, Kenny's injured. We didn't even note that Kenny's out
yeah,
indefinitely. Undisclosed illness or divert
diverticulitis, yes.
diverticulitis. There you go. Um, but I really do feel like they need to like either. I feel like he had his world championship run, and I feel like he's playing games and like, okay, I did this. I need to do other things to help the company when he should be playing the role that he should be a contender.
He
He
should
should
be
be
playing the
someone
role. He should be
right.
playing the role that Roman Reigns plays in his company. Period.
The ace. He's the ace. Like he really is, and I don't know how much more years he's got left where he wants to be like running up against, no offense, Ethan Page on Collision, but like he ain't got, considering how his body is doing all types of moves currently, um, he ain't got that much time left. Work safely, work on top, and
Hmm.
be the best person that you can be to this company because at this point, at the end of your contract, you're not going to be able to go to WWE. Your last contract, the one that you re-signed this year, that was it. It's done. You're not going. So I just want to see Kenny flourish as we know how Kenny can how he did a number of years ago.
Yeah, I hope he'll be able to. But as for right now, I mean, it was Cody, man. I think that like I've been saying all year, it's been 2 matches that's been neck and neck. Kenny Omega's been a part of one of those matches of the year that was neck and neck for me, and Cody Rhodes was part of another one of those. So, what do some of our listeners have to say?
So our listeners said, let's go through this. In terms of male wrestler of the year, I see Gunther, Cody, Jay, Seth,
Wow.
Roman, Cody, Seth, Ilya, Damian Priest, Gunther, MJF, Ilya Dragunov, Dominic. It's kind of all over the place. That's interesting. Wait, let me see. There's more. I can hit the more button. Oh no, I can't. But it's kind of all over the place. A lot of people saying Gunther, which I can respect. A lot of people saying Seth. Some people saying MJF. Ilya, I get. Some people saying Dominic Mysterio. There's at least 2 Dominic Mysterio votes here. Um, which fair, but also not. But interesting. Interesting. Okay. What about our female wrestler of the year, my friend?
Female wrestler of the year, unanimous. Once again, Becky Lynch, our female wrestler of the year.
Big Time Bex. She is here. She is back. Um, she has been
She,
killing it
I think
from.
she's the first. She's the first like 2-time that we've ever done since we've been doing this, right?
Let's
Gotta be.
see. Female wrestler of the year. I don't.
I feel like
Actually,
he's two.
two-time might be Bianca.
Oh yeah, so she's the second two-time. Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's from
Yeah, she's
2021,
the
22.
second. You know what? Fair, but it is what it is. But Becky was so good this year,
Yeah.
and I think she did this thing that I wish Charlotte could do, which is spend a year without the title. Just
Yep.
spend a year without the title. And I think I mean, she had the NXT title, but it's not the world title. But I think that's something that hopefully Charlotte Flair can chase in the future and realize, or at least people around her can realize that she doesn't need the title or to be in that hunt every now and then.
Right.
But she spent the year without the title. She knows that she had that lengthy reign. She knows she's kind of like her accolades. She knows behind her, but she hasn't forgot about them. But she knows that she can use this to help propel a lot of other people. And she spent a good amount of year, but not only damage control, but Trish Stratus. Maybe too long with Trish. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but she has not taken like the matches have been good. She has been proven a point that she is the best women's wrestler maybe on earth. I mean, people are going to
Yeah.
disagree.
I don't see how you could. I mean, if you're gonna say that someone like Athena or someone is
They're going to
working
say
with,
Athena. You know they're going to say Athena.
but if you say like if she's working with talent that's like lesser known or like you know what I mean, like stuff like that, like you could say that like has she elevated any of them in the same way that Becky's attempted to with the NXT people? And I mean, maybe Xia Li was a brick, but Lyra Valkyria got a lot out of it, and Tiffany Stratton for sure got a lot out of it, and I think that
NXT got a lot out of it.
yeah, I mean, just as far as ratings go, right? Like
Yeah,
having
it's
Becky
a
there
draw.
elevated that show, and there's
First
not
time it
many.
ever hit 1 million viewers ever in years because of
Yeah,
Becky.
and you know, ultimately, like she gave the rub to the younger star, which is something I can't say for a lot of people in either any company could do. I think she maintained like an interesting storyline and thread throughout the year, and she worked with a lot of different talent, which and this is no fault of their own, but Bianca and Charlotte and them, they largely stayed next to Bailey and Asuka for the remainder of the year, and whereas Rhea kind of just did her own thing and she wasn't facing women a lot of the year. And Becky was the only person that was out there working. And she was working in Bakersfield, California on an NXT show. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Like she was doing everything. She was in the PC. I mean, that's worth the conversation. And I think that she absolutely deserves this distinction. And I foresee even bigger things happening in 2024. I think it's time for her to kind of reclaim her spot on top again, especially with Charlotte
absolutely,
out.
absolutely. Um, I mean, yeah, I have nothing to say. We can do it. My runner-up is Asuka.
Yeah.
Um, someone who returned at the Rumble, has been consistent all the way through, won the women's world championship this summer. I think she's just been. I was looking. I was just like, she's been just consistent all the way through. I was trying to find like, okay, there's a lot of peaks and valleys with a lot of other people on this show. Um, I feel like Asuka's just been a consistent presence all the way through. To be honest with you, if I could put Becky twice, I would. Um, because I feel like she's the one who really like took the mantle and really like carried it a lot. And part of me wanted to put Rhea Ripley as well. Um, why didn't I put Rhea? Maybe I should have put Rhea. Um,
I have Rhea as my runner up, and I think
I don't blame you.
this will probably be a big argument this year because I think that even if the work wasn't as plentiful, she still had arguably one of the greatest matches, men or women, of the year. I was there live for that, but also
She's the next big thing.
she really redefined what it is to be kind of like, I don't want to say like
Star.
intersectional. Yeah,
No,
yeah,
yeah,
like she was tussling with the dudes, tussling with the women. Like that hasn't happened since like China. You know what I mean? Like
China.
in a way where it's like, you know, she could stand toe to toe with Drew McIntyre, and the crowd would be like, "Oh shit," you know what I mean? Like that's how big of a threat she is. I think that where Becky is like the finesse and the look of like the the man. I think Rhea really stepped into the man role, leading a team, all of that.
Mm,
Like she was the mastermind of a lot of really dope stuff that happened. The only reason I wouldn't give her wrestler of the year is that she just did not have the range of opponents and the matches, the sheer number of matches that Becky had this year.
absolutely. Because I think with Rhea Ripley, if you count on really the matches, the big matches, is definitely Charlotte. There was one also against Natalia that was amazing. I think she had another really good one recently. Um,
Zoe was good. I thought Zoe was okay.
oh yes, Zoe was good. Yeah. But it's clear to me,
Oh,
like
Zelina. We're forgetting Zelina. That was a good match too.
I remember that. I feel like I don't know. It just to me it feels like this reign that she has on hasn't gotten really started yet
Mhm.
because I feel like she hasn't gotten like a noticeable challenge yet. Someone to really push her back on her heels. I feel like she hasn't gotten that since her reign started. Um, Maybe it's the roster of the Raw roster. No offense. Maybe it's the way they build the women, which is something I had an issue with because I feel like currently Rhea is a star and everyone's kind of orbiting around it like very far. Like again, between Raw and SmackDown, you know who the stars are, and then the kind of drop off is kind of crazy after that. But um, so I think we won't get it until literally they shake up the rosters again after WrestleMania.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
it's a I feel like her reign hasn't started yet. I feel like she hasn't really gotten going. She's had these great matches, but I don't think anything has really like challenged her. Um, she's got a match against what's the girl's name? Ivy Nile
I've
on
been out.
Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. But yeah,
Ivy could
she's a
surprise
star
us.
though.
I,
Yeah,
Ivy could surprise us because Ivy had a lot more. She was in the oven a lot longer than Maxine was.
I
Like
agree. But
like I
ultimately, I think Rhea Ripley is a star. Like she's redefined a star. Like there's people you look at and be like, wow, yes. I've get hit up about Rhea Ripley from people who don't even watch wrestling.
Mhm.
And there's only a couple people that they do it about. One of them is Rhea Ripley, and one of them is Jade. To be honest with you, I get hit up
Yeah.
about Jade. People ask me like, "Yo, what's that?" And that may be someone we look forward to in 2024. Considering, I mean, she gonna be in the oven for a while too, but we'll see. What's the next category we got?
What do our listeners say before I get there?
Oh, you're right. I keep forgetting. We got a couple people. There's Becky Lynch. There's
Mhm.
Rhea Ripley, Io Sky.
Yeah.
A lot of people said Becky. So pretty much Becky is the main decision. Rhea Ripley kind of like followed up right after that. Then Io Sky, more Io Sky, and pretty much the only other person other than that is Bailey. I don't want to guess
Was
who said
EO
Bailey, but I have a.
was was EO Sky in your orbit? Because like strangely enough, like she'd be in my top five, but not like my top three.
She is good. I just think a lot of it has been I don't know her proximity to damage control has really kind of like not hindered her because it's definitely helped her, but I want to see it kind of like her on her own kind of vibe.
Yeah.
Top of the year tag team champion multiple times. By the middle of the year, she's a women's tag team champion, but it still feels like her reign hasn't been. So even though she's beat the big names, it's felt like because of all the damage control things, it doesn't feel like legitimate enough.
Mhm.
Um, so we'll see how she is 2024. If she's running damage control, it's going to be a different story.
Next up, cringeworthy moment of the year. A lot of people wanted cringeworthy
Oof. Okay.
for some reason. Meelz,
Yeah.
what did you have?
My cringe-worthy moment of the year are the AEW scrums and WWE press conferences.
The thing about the WWE press conferences is that I get a lot more out of the Triple H parts than I do everything else.
Everything else, I wait for Triple H, and it's not the. To be honest, it's never the superstars. It's the motherfuckers asking questions, and it's the same thing. Well, AEW scrums are also cringeworthy. I also think the people asking the questions are the main thing. We gotta You gotta do something. Yo, y'all gotta come better in 2024. This is cringeworthy. Y'all be asking Taylor Swift, fucking Sir Wilkins, juggling and fumbling the question. Um, there's a lot of like the opportunity is something that people would kill for. And you guys are clearly not even paying attention to what's going on in front of you or asking any of the notable questions because you guys want to be invited back. I'm talking more AEW scrums with that. But you guys aren't asking the valid questions because it's like, I don't want to piss anybody off because I want to be thing back. I don't really like the scrums. Um, it's very, very weird. What say you?
I said specifically the AEW All Out scrum after
Mm.
after Punk hit went upside Jack Perry head, and they didn't really want to talk about any of that type of shit. It was just weird. I just find the general feeling of that one, knowing that something big had happened in the backstage area and they wouldn't talk about it, is crazy. Like I would have canceled that whole scrum because it was nothing but fluff at that point, and it went on forever. For a monumentous night, you could have just had that and just left, and you were,
You're talking about
there
all in scrum, all in
it was
scrum.
all in. I
It
don't be
was all
knowing.
in.
I
I
don't be
know, I
knowing.
know.
There you go. There you go. Here we go. Scrum. Damn. I'm sorry. Shit.
No, because I was trying to figure because I remember All Out and I was like, something happened to All Out. What the fuck happened to All Out? Um, but it was all in. I know, but yes, no, that is a. We know what happened. Come on, stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh,
Well,
what was your runner up?
my runner-up is Jack Perry's heel turn. That is cringeworthy. I've never seen someone walk around in a suit that never belonged to them, um, at all, and it led to CM Punk being fired. He smelled his own farts enough to um, talk really big shit, and now look at that. Might have potentially ruined the company forever. So you know what? I say his heel run. I hate that shit.
My runner up was Tony Khan fearing for his life after CM Punk uh came backstage and fought Jack Perry at All In Wembley Stadium. Not only the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life, especially considering you're around 300 pounders all every single day, but
Mm-hmm.
also some of the craziest. Like I think that if you would never hear the end of it if someone from GCW or TNA or WWE, anyone said that. Triple H says that, you're automatically like, what the fuck? Vince McMahon says that, you're automatically like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like it's there was a level, I think, of not having awareness of like this like anything at that point that just kind of took me aback, but also like, shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? Like even when he said it, like the world famous quote was the girl calling him a pussy in Chicago.
Yeah. I was just trying to find that quote right now, and I typed in Twitter Tony Khan pussy. But that is not what I found. But
But again, the fear for his life thing was him coming out and saying that was just like, I know a lot of people like he's brave for doing that. I'm like, no, the brave thing would have been to just have fired Punk and just left it at that and just let your nuts hang instead of just coming out and making three different pre-tapes about it. You know what I mean? Like it was just the most cringiest thing I've ever seen someone owning a company do. Dana White wouldn't do no shit like that. But then again,
no.
Dana White slaps his wife, so who knows? But yeah, that was.
Well, there you have it. The people said a lot of things. Um, the Adam Cole moment
Oh
where
god.
he shows up on crutches. Um, Mercedes singing "Mayu Sucks" in the cadence of Spider Pig at New Japan Pro Wrestling press conference. Um, drinking shoot blood in the wrestling ring and Juice's roll of quarters.
Oh
Um,
man, yeah. It seems very AEW heavy, but they
that
did some cool
MJF
shit.
car crash promo, his feud with Brian Danielson. Um, Austin Theory's U.S. title reign lasting as long as it did. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Um,
that's that's a moment.
yeah. Tony
Seems like
Khan
a
addressing the crowd after CM Punk's firing. Tony Khan
yep.
saying he feared for his life.
Hmm.
MJF with one arm and one leg beating Jay White.
Ooh.
Golden Jets Starks and Bill segment that just happened like last week. Xia Li's non-feud with Becky. TK's crash out after head to head with NXT.
Mm.
Tony Khan, I fear for my life. I fear for my life by Tony Khan.
It's,
Every
it's,
Adam,
it seems like we should be saying the Fear for His Life promo is the most cringeworthy.
I agree. People saying LA Knight, AEW. I'm
All
sure they have
right.
to do some
Well,
cool
here's the
ways.
thing.
Yeah.
I had LA Knight in a cringy moment.
CM Punk's I'm home promo. That's a new one. I feel them. That was kind of cringe. I'm not even gonna lie.
He did it again the next week. He said it the next week.
I'm home.
He said he was home again on SmackDown.
I know. But the first time he said it, you ain't let out a good oh brother.
I laughed. I laughed because I was like, this motherfucker, he's good at what he does.
Oh my god.
It's
I
performance
love it.
art. That's not cringe. That's not cringe. I can't co-sign that. I'm not co-signing.
I appreciate it. Well, it was cringe for
Um,
somebody.
let's get to most tasteless promotional tactic. This is something a lot of people wanted to see our choices for. What say you?
Wow. Mine was CM Punk in the Collision saga. I
Mm.
feel like CM Punk Collision, from the moment it started where that man wasn't on the poster, um, it was just a bet. From the moment it started to the weeks that followed after, with CM Punk saying, "No, you can't be allowed on shows. No, we're not doing this." Um, it just felt like clearly whoever was in charge was not in charge. And yeah, it's not the best. While CM Punk had a shining year to end this year, I don't think this collision thing was his finest moments. I think he tried in the ring. I think it was his finest moments from trying to carry a brand all by himself. But everything that surmised underneath it was just like, this isn't how a company should be running at all. Um,
Mm.
that was my most tasteless promotional tactic. And if you want to know, my runner-up, the AEW Women's Division.
That's a stretch, but I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let you cook.
Hey, listen, it's bad. The Jamie Hayter got injured, and plans have flew out the window since. She's been injured since like May or like June. The division has had no major plans. The plans can't be Tony Storm reenacts a 40s movie. Like, there is no, everyone has two eyes, two ears, and a working brain, hopefully, realizes that there is nothing going on with this division. And
Mhm.
everyone acknowledges how talented the women are. In a sense, they are. A couple of them are talented. But the reality is, it's bad. And the Lufisto thing showed how bad the company was. And then they all doubled down on, like, we love our filth. And we 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 love AEW and the women are great. But she, she was just speaking from her experience. Like, there's so many bad things that they've been ignoring with the women's division in this company. And now they can't say anything because then it'll get fined. So we'll see.
Yeah.
What was
Uh,
your pick?
my winner is very tweet oriented. AEW's really done a lot of like silly shit this year. Like WWE
Right.
should have won this in a landslide, but they've actually kind of remained, other than like the releases, they've remained pretty like static in terms of just silly shit this year. But my winner was Tony Khan tweeting after NXT defeats Dynamite in ratings.
Mm,
I put this as a promotional tactic because of course he did that to get all eyes on his product again. And he did it before. I should actually say throughout the whole Super Tuesday thing he was doing. Remember he added a YouTube show at 7:30. He added an overrun. He did all of these things and then he fucking exploded after they fucking lost. And I think it was, I'm not gonna bring professionalism into it because it's like it's fucking wrestling. It's carny shit. It's all carny shit. But in terms of
yeah.
just like what he was doing, it was whack. You were bringing up like the Vince McMahon stuff, which is just like what? Like he's not even controlling any of that stuff anymore. Calling HBK and Triple H bald assholes, and I think what makes it even more cringy and more tasteless is that they just fucking ignored him and they destroyed him. When those numbers came out, Meelz, and I know we'll talk about this again, I have never seen something so lopsided in my life. It was the most funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. for sure. But that was definitely the most tasteless promotional tactic. And I'll have to say the runner up is those AEW I love my company tweets. Anytime something happens, anytime the Bryan Danielson thing comes out, everyone's tweeting that they love him, or trying to tweet that, jokes about it. The CM Punk, when CM Punk was on Raw, when he first came out on Raw, remember the night of, everyone was like, I love AEW, it changed my life and shit like that. Them going to the dirt sheets to put out the fact that Bryan Danielson was the one who fired, or helped make the decision to fire Punk and all that stuff. Like, that's just whack. It's tasteless. Like, the way that they've acted and reacted, and it kind of connects to your thing too with the CM Punk Collision saga. The way they reacted about this guy is some of the most childish high schoolish shit I've ever seen in my life, and it's pretty tasteless too.
I agree. The people said, first one, anything AEW does. Friedman, uh, Real Glass, Cry Me a River.
Mm.
NWA having Coke on their pay per view. That should probably be number one.
That's like that's tag team of the year, NWA and Coke.
TK name dropping Cena and Taker doing his rant. NWA, Tony Khan using his mother's health for an argument rooted in tribalism.
Ooh.
All MJF promos. Tony Khan tweets AEW versus NXT. AEW's relationship with the media. Gassing the surprise signing of William Ospreay.
William.
He said Billiam Ocean Spray to say that. I mean, my brain wasn't working. All the anti-Semitism that arose during MJF's world title run. MJF Jewish promos. TK insinuating Regal took advantage of TK when his mom was sick.
That was
Tony Khan,
nasty. That was
that
really
was
nasty.
nasty. Tony Khan said he was scared for his life. Tony Khan, I fear for my life. Tony Khan using his mom's cancer. Swerve Strickland breaking into a white man's house in the middle of the year. Okay.
That was Flo, wasn't it? That had to be Flo.
Might be Swerve Strickland, Black Champion. That's all that's right. Tony Khan tweeting about Cena and Taker being on the show, and Juice Robinson using roll of quarters in promo battle with MJF. It looks like anti-Semitism is the winner here.
Won the day. Yeah, won the day.
Or tied with Tony Khan tweeting, for sure.
Let's get to most confusing booking decision.
Okay.
I'll say mine was MJF burying Jay White, because in a lot of ways you can
And
promote
that's my
a
runner-up. I think that's my winner as well. Runner-up. That's my runner-up.
okay. And
Yes.
I think there are ways, Meelz, that you can promote and really elevate a talent that's new, hasn't really been on American television. It's supposed to be a signing that in the future will come up, come up good for you guys, because he's younger. A lot of your guys, maybe older, getting out of the way pretty soon. What they did with Jay White was a character assassination that I've never seen or I haven't seen in a long time in a major wrestling company, because you had MJF outclassing him on the mic. You had Jay White doing absolutely stupid creative, stealing the
But
belt.
then the craziest part was what happened at the pay-per-view. That
Yeah.
was the nastiest part. They injure MJF. They get him out the paint. He is not clear to compete. The guy who is clearly injured steps in and says, I will wrestle him. They go to the main event of the show. Then the guy who was originally not cleared to compete but was injured and, get his quad beaten up, comes out the ambulance, wrestles a full match, and beats him.
Yeah. Why would I ever? And then you put him in a tournament that he's going to lose. So he's not even going to get anything out of this at all.
I don't know, bro. I don't know what they're
If
doing with Jay White thing.
if I'm Jay White, I'm actively looking for a way to get out of this contract and go back to Japan, because
He's
it's
got
there,
too much years.
bruh. If this is what my future looks like, then what the fuck at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just crazy. They've effectively cut him off at the knees, and I wouldn't be shocked if MJF didn't go into business for himself a couple times during this shit. I've seen what he said. I heard what he said. I've seen those promo segments. He was eating him alive. He was eating him alive. And then the match happens, and MJF starts doing all types of flipping Jeff Hardy, fucking Kushida-esque shit that ends up injuring him anyway, for real, in the match. But it was just ridiculous. There's no way that Jay White coming from where he was in Japan, was a fan of any of the stuff that happened to him in this match. So that was my winner. What was your winner, Meelz?
First of all, the best case for Jay White would be if MJF did go to WWE. Um, my most confusing booking decision, it kind of follows up promotional tactic: AEW tanking its own women's division. There is nothing you can say. The best match this year happened in January, and has been downhill from there.
Mm-hmm.
AEW deciding that the Outcast thing just not going to work out because Jamie Hayter got injured. So we're going to completely nix the entire program. Instead of like, all right, how do we be nimble with this? How do we introduce a new star? Maybe there's a Willow who can go in this spot. Maybe we can align her with Britt Baker and Sheeta, and maybe we can build a new star there or a Sky Blue. Nah, fuck it. Everything's canceled. Women's title canceled. We're taking it off Tony Storm. We're gonna put it on Sheeta. We're gonna figure out what to do. Oh wait, Tony Storm got cooking again. Let's take it off of Sheeta and put it back on Tony Storm. And then when Jamie Hayter comes back, probably then we're gonna take it back off Tony Storm. Like AEW does not know what to do with the women. It's very clear. Everyone has two eyes, but they won't admit it. That
Mm-hmm.
it's you can have a good match, and to be honest with you, a lot of the matches aren't good anyway. So I don't know what the hell you're.
The shit is so sad that they're happy that they had two matches on one of the shows this week.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Oh, we had two matches on Collision. You know, we talk a lot about Tony Khan, but we don't really acknowledge all of the wins that y'all had two matches once on Collision.
Mm-hmm.
Like, come on. Let's come on. Like, this
It's
should
so
be.
sad. It's so
I
sad that
ha-
they trying to call us racist for not watching ROH on YouTube.
I I said this. I remember the Lufisto thing came out, and Ruby Soho put out this tweet because all the Lufisto thing was targeted towards how Ruby Soho is a big old bitch and shit. Um, and I quoted the tweet and I said, "Y'all can corral to do this together, but y'all can't get a second match on Dynamite. Y'all can put y'all brains together to tweet and have this massive tweet thing at 4:30 p.m. Eastern, but y'all can't corral to get a second match on Dynamite. Like, come on." AEW's women's division, 2023, it was in the dirt, and it's still in the dirt, and it hasn't been moved from the dirt, and the dirt is becoming a lot less rich. It's losing its nutrients now. And they're about to just start becoming like, I don't know, something else. It's really really bad. What was your runner up?
My runner up was Jimmy Uso turning on Jay Uso at SummerSlam.
Oh yeah,
Just huh?
and
Like
then
look
going
at
back to the bloodline.
yeah, like and they even I have to admit I was wrong because I was like let it play out, let it play out, and now I'm just like what? Why did they do this? Other like there was so many ways they could have like gotten them to break up other than this. Like it just goes to show how much of the breaks that they have pumped on this bloodline storyline since May or since July, really the bloodline civil war. Like they just pumped the brakes on this altogether. And I really hope that they can like get it rolling again and put some gas in the fucking tank again because it's kind of just been kind of doing its thing for the past couple of months here. But the Jimmy turning on Jay thing, ultimately it was better for Jay, in my opinion, than it was for Jimmy. But I think you could have got there anyway. People already love Jay. They already loved him.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was just such a confusing decision to me. It still remains the most confusing thing. I know a lot of people are gonna say Cody losing to Roman, but like look at like I said, so much came out of that moment at WrestleMania. Like it was the snowball effect that got us there, but then it ends with or at least the storyline at that point ends with the Jimmy thing. It's just like I don't know. It was just really confused. I tried to let it play out, but I'm willing to say months down the line that it wasn't a good decision to me.
Remember Rikishi was like, "Hey, book me for thing. I'm being payback."
Nigga said no.
Special reference. And they were like, we don't know about that. Um, the people said Keith Lee getting piped up by Samoa Joe. Wow. Um,
Ah!
Theory doing hashtag nothing. Jimmy turning on Jay at SummerSlam. Um, Corner's first AEW match being a Luchasaurus. Y'all are funny. Um, Putting Roxanne Perez back in the match at Stand and Deliver, only for Indy Hartwell to win the match. That was stupid. Um, AEW Real World title. Uh, Not splitting the tag titles still is a confusing booking decision.
Very confusing.
Um, MJF being tag champs after Cole's injury. He has been tag champs without him longer than he's been with him. Um, AEW having
And
to
he's still
MJF
the tag champ. And he's still
he's
the tag
still
champ, Meelz.
he's still tag team champs. They did not defend it at Final Battle. I think the only title that was defended at Final Battle was the Women's World Title and some other title. Um, Austin Theory's lengthy U.S. title reign. Indy Hartwell winning NXT Women's Championship. Kenny Omega and MJF having a solid match for the world title, but there's no physical title. Putting the NXT Championship on Indy Hartwell, crazy.
Jesus
Swerve
Christ.
Strickland's push. Putting Orange Cassidy on at exactly 8 o'clock for 28 weeks out of 52. Jimmy turning on Jay. Trick Williams winning North American title and losing it a week later. Oman's facing Brock Lesnar and Seth Rollins and then disappearing.
He's on house
TK,
shows. He's still around.
yeah, TK not booking CM Punk versus the Elite. Um, Samoa Joe vacating ROH title. The entire AEW Women's Championship lineage since January 1st onward.
That is crazy. I forgot that Samoa Joe just like dropped the title and just
He just
left.
dropped the title. He was like, "Nah, I don't want it anymore. I'm going for the AEW World Title." In
What are they
theory,
doing?
that's what Athena could do. In theory, um, but that would never happen. MJF one half of the tag team champions of a dead promotion and having defending it after his partner gets injured. Braun's heel turn and not wanting a rematch. Um, Anti-Semitic storyline.
Mhm.
Uh, and the booking of the women's tag team champions.
On WWE.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, let's try and get through these last couple here.
Yeah.
Guilty pleasure of the year. What say you,
Ooh.
Mills?
Chase U scandal. I love it. I need it every week. In fact, that might be the only reason I turned into NXT this week is to see what's happened on the Chase U scandal because that is funny.
Mine might be surprising, but Orange Cassidy matches.
He's good, right?
I
Listen,
wouldn't say
you
he's
get in at
good,
eight
but
o'clock. You get in at 8 o'clock. You get out 8:17. You know what
I
I'm
wouldn't
saying?
say he's good. I would say that they follow a pattern and a formula that to me is very easy to follow every single
Well, there
week.
you go. There you go. Um,
What's your runner up is pretty much the same shit, but it's tied into this. But go ahead.
Tony D'Angelo getting popped for murdering someone. Let me explain this story. So they murder Pretty Deadly to get him off the show, and then someone snitches on him. So we get about 8 weeks of what's my man's name? Stacks
Facts.
feuding with Gallus to figure out how they're gonna get Tony D out of jail. Um, they have this match between Stacks and Gallus where Tony D calls in from jail over the loudspeaker.
Like he see murder.
He calls it from jail, and it's like that was the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. Anyway, Stacks wins the match, and Tony D'Angelo's freedom for whatever reason, and then they come back and they win the tag team titles. I love it. I love stupid shit. That's like
Fantastic.
good. Oh,
Uh,
what's your runner up?
my runner up is I just put them all in one. I put I put NXT telenovelas.
I love it.
They're
Guilty
telenovelas to
pleasure,
me.
guilty pleasure of the year for people. Nia Jax existing, NXT Level Up, Grayson Waller in Theory.
Level Up
The
is a good guilty pleasure, I must say.
oh, Listen, the chat. I don't know if you're in there after SmackDown, but people tune in to Level Up every
Hmm.
week.
That's cool.
Um, Thea's after school special, Chase U story. Judgment Day. Judgment Day is not no damn guilty pleasure. They're all over Raw. Metaphor. CM Punk Collision Era. I should have wrote that. I was definitely a collider.
Yeah. You,
That was a
you
big
was you was
collider.
you and three other people was colliding every
We-
Saturday.
we- That's nasty. Um, Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green and Piper title run. All things American Alpha. I think is it Alpha Academy. Um, Chase U, Theory and Waller. Oh, people like Theory and Waller. Collision when they had Punk and Tiffany Stratton. Never no fucking Collision. Tiffany Stratton was never on Collision. Alpha Academy, Chelsea Green promos, Yeet, AEW. I want to know who wrote that down. CM Punk Collision matches before you know. Um, Maxine Dupree, Alpha Academy, laughing at Brian Danielson segments, LA Knight, Lash Legend picking up Otis and Swerve versus Pentagon. Okay,
Yeah, that's dope.
lots of lots of colliders, lots of
Lots of
Waller
collide.
and Theory,
Like
Grayson Waller and Theory fans.
what does it go from 3 to 10? Whoa, a lot of
Hey, bro,
colliders.
people were
All
colliding
right.
before. Um,
Uh, most improved. I think we got a unanimous. Both of them are unanimous here. Um, I put Dominic Mysterio. You put Dominic Mysterio. I mean, I from the Mania match onward, Dominic Mysterio is an example of someone who, if you really just stick to stick to the plan, it will happen. And he's also got to be a little bit of a dick too. Like like he's just the perfect heel character, just in terms of just like getting people to hate him, but also having matches where people actively want to see him lose. You know what I'm saying? So I had to give him my most improved this year.
he is absolutely most improved by far and away. It is what could happen to Jade if she plays her cards right, because they put the reps in, gave him the reps. He everywhere. If Jade like to wrestle 3 times a week, it might be fire for her. If she don't, it might be slow. But definitely most improved. Trick Williams is a runner-up, and it was echoed pretty much by all the responses. Pretty much everyone just said Trick Williams or Dominic Mysterio, except the outliers that says Orange Cassidy, Baron Corbin.
Who?
Baron Corbin. Apparently, he got better. I
I guess. I guess, bruh. All right. Least improved.
had Dana Brooke. I'll just
I
say
have,
she went to NXT and stunk it up.
and then got fired.
Yeah, and then got fired. And I'm like, yo, my journey is not over. It is just beginning. Type of vibe. We'll see what happens December 21st. Oh, everyone about to be released is about to be free in about 2 days. Interesting.
Um, your runner. I put Xylee as my winner.
Okay. Wow. Um,
Seeing her
like I
twice on
said,
TV.
she had
No,
15 minutes and she just ran away with it. Huh?
yeah, no one made me more mad than seeing her on Raw and NXT back to back. I was like, I'm done. I didn't even watch the Lyra Valkyria match. I skipped it just completely. I couldn't do it.
I feel you. No, I feel you because I didn't watch it either. My runner-up is Gigi Dolan. How you go from being notable tag team to like being on Level Up almost exclusively now. Like, come on, Gigi.
Yeah,
Come
yeah.
on.
My
Come
runner up
on.
was Jay Cargill.
Oh, yikes.
How's it yikes?
Oof. I mean, I liked her last match in AEW. If that's any mark of improvement,
She wasn't really that improved. I'm not just because she signed to the E don't mean she won't toilet water in AEW for most of the year. She left. She left AEW in September.
amen. I
It
mean,
was
maybe you're right.
ass. It was
Yeah.
at most of it was ass. That's like one good match. It was two matches with Statlander that was good. That was it.
She had a
And then
match. What's her face too?
Taya,
Taya. Yeah.
it was garbage. It was garbage. Hopefully she does better. I pray that she will.
I pray that
Um,
she will. The people say least improve. 3 people said MJF. 3 people said John Moxley. Y'all are wrong. Hook, Solo Sokoa, Electra Lopez, LA Knight, Zoe Stark, Ricochet, Red Velvet, Austin Theory, Dana Brooke, Gigi, Gable Steveson, the Bunny, Swerve Strickland, Beef. This is like a mid off right now. Gigi Dolan, Indy Hartwell,
LA
Shotzi,
Knight.
and Tony Storm. LA Knight was funny.
Oh my god. Okay. Big boys here. Our last two. Pay-per-view / special of the year, WWE, New Japan, ROH, whatever. I should put AEW instead of R because we did this so long ago.
We did this before AEW was a thing. I
Yeah.
think
There you
maybe.
go. I changed it. Um, my winner of pay-per-view of the year was WrestleMania 39 Night 1.
Okay, let's look at the card. I don't remember. I mean, I know what the card was, but let's look at the card.
Started with Cena versus Theory. Started with Cena
We're
versus
going on first.
he has somewhere to be. He'd be back in a couple of months, but started with that. And then you had the Street Profits, the Fatal 4-Way tag team showcase match was
That was
fire.
a that was a banger. That was pretty fucking good.
Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul. KSI comes out as well.
It's
The
good,
six
but like it's not memorable. I think it's weird.
that match was really good though. It was
It
good.
was really really good, but
But
I had it at yeah.
here's where it starts cooking. So after the 6-woman tag match with Trish Stratus, Lita, and Becky Lynch in Damage Control, you got Rey Mysterio versus Dominic. You got Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. You got Shane McMahon tearing his goddamn.
Hey man, magic. You see what
uh,
happens when you hate? When you do clownery, the clown
uh,
comes to bite back.
and then you had Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus the Usos in the main event, and one of the best tag team matches of the year, and the main event of the show. So nothing went below like a 3 to me on the show.
I like this. I like it a lot. Um, Mine went to Backlash 2023. I
You really want to be
feel
Puerto Rican. You want to be Puerto Rican. I'm a to
I
quote
want to
somebody
listen.
to quote Quan, man, y'all really love them flags.
Shout out to Quan. Listen, this was the most cultural but non-offensive WWE show that I've ever seen in my life. I loved all of it. I loved the night before. I loved the night of. I love. It. I did want to be Puerto Rican that day. That's how I felt. Like after the Bad Bunny Damian Priest match, like how could you not want to be? You know, um, Zelina Vega coming out crying that's her WrestleMania moment right there. She's never gonna get a moment bigger in her career than that moment.
Mhm,
Like this show was so Seth Rollins versus Omos. People complained about that for weeks about why is this happening? Why are they using Seth this way? Why Omos? And then it was fucking fire.
mhm.
Bianca Belair versus Io Sky. Now this is the one thing I want to be Puerto Rican about because people are like, "Oh my god, they love Io." I was listening to War Report. They're like, "I wonder why they love Io so much." I was like, "I don't know if they love Io as much as they didn't like Bianca." I was like, Puerto Rico, you kind of show it out in a different way. You know, like black women in Puerto Rico, but it was good all the way through. I love this show.
Oh wow.
I watch it up and down. Like I literally watched it up and down. This is the only show I watched like multiple times.
This
To be
just
honest.
in. This just in. Charlotte Flair was believed to have signed one of the biggest contract extensions for a woman in WWE history. Sources tell Fightful
Oh
Select.
damn! And then she took the fool's way out. Said, um, that's awesome.
I
Shout out to
think
her.
that I think that it's going to be the biggest one until Becky.
Oh yeah, I mean they all about to be big until. Listen, these TKO deals, they ain't gonna be
Different.
no small shit. Yeah,
Yeah, different. Everybody getting a bus.
everybody getting a bus.
Everybody's getting a bus.
Charlotte might have been like, I wasn't really gonna work the 9 months anyway. After I signed this contract, she was like, I was about to work WrestleMania, and that's it. Shout out to Charlotte Flair. Get the bag.
Get
You
the
know what I'm
bag.
saying?
Get the
Come
bag.
on, be a stay-at-home husband, Andrade.
Get the- Real
Be a-
Latino men don't do that. Real Latino men don't do that. Chill out. Real Latino men don't do that.
He's gonna
Um,
think he deserves a bigger bag than her.
what was your runner up for?
My runner-up was Elimination Chamber,
I don't
another
know.
international show.
I don't know, man. I
It gave
like
me
the
the
show.
feels. Go ahead.
I thought it was a generational men's elimination chamber for sure. Also,
Right.
Johnny Gargano and Bronson showed out, but like top of the year,
I liked the mixed tag. Elimination Chamber was great. I mean, Brock versus Bobby, we could do without. But I even think the chamber matches were, and then Roman versus Sammy, like it was a short, stout card, but it delivered. I think, like,
all right, all right.
just
My
saying.
runner up, my runner up was WWE Royal Rumble 2023. I think from
Mm,
start to finish, nearly perfect, nearly won. Honestly, if it didn't have that main event for 39 night one, but Royal Rumble 2023, of course, has the Roman and Sammy moment with KO at the end, which was like 30 minutes long. But
mm.
you also have this hour-long Rumble with Cody and Gunther having like a 20-minute match at the end of it. The women's Rumble was also very good. I thought that everything on this show largely
No.
delivered.
Them
What
two stinkers between the rumbles.
what were the two stinkers?
Bray versus LA Knight and Bianca versus Alexa Bliss. Those match stunk
I
out
thought that
loud.
I thought that the pitch black match was 5 minutes long. I can't even you can't even call that like it
It's a
was
yes, of
5 minutes.
course. It was a what do they call it in the
It was
branded
a
world?
promotional match.
It was an activation.
Yes, it was an activation. I'm not even gonna come on. You can't. It's like 5 minutes long. It was clearly set up to go to that spot. But then I thought that Bianca and Alexa was serviceable. But it's again, it's sandwiched between 2 hour long matches. That does not bring them. That does not bring the show down at all to me.
I mean, it's your pick, so I'm gonna let you have that.
All right, I hate this. Man. The show started and ended strongly,
It
and so
started
like
and ended strong as hell.
that's where it happened. So what do the people say?
That's a good thing. I should have also did least. Did I do least improve? I didn't even do pay per view. Oh wait, no, I did least improve. Okay.
Yeah, you did.
Um, the pay per view. What did the people say? Pay per view PLE special of the year. WrestleMania 39, Backlash, WrestleMania 39, WrestleMania Night 1, WrestleMania Night Run, WrestleMania Night 1 and 2. Just say WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, Survivor
Thank
Series War Games,
thank
WrestleMania,
thank you. And you know what's
Backlash,
funny?
and
You know what's
WrestleMania.
funny? Survivor Series will probably be like top 10, but with that CM Punk moment, it probably raises it a little bit.
Yeah. Someone said Survivor Series again. Someone said Royal Rumble, believe it or not. Maybe that was you. Let me see who put
Ah,
that.
shut up.
No, that's it.
All right, man. Here we are. Match of the freaking year. What do you say?
You go your pick. Your pick is way more.
I
I
I,
have
I
to
don't
maybe explain my pick, I feel like.
I don't think that it's a shock to me that Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes is my match of the year. It was a match that I was left having confused feelings about. And after walking out, you come in on an incredible high of that story and then having
Right.
them come out and then everything happening and then you walk out on disappointment and you walk out on confusion and you walk out on like and we talked about this on the A list as well. It's like how could they have done this and what's going to happen after? And there was a lot that led out of it and it was just kind of like the biggest example of like okay, just let this thing play out for a second because we're going to try and circle it back. And they're still
Right.
trying to circle it back. But there were so many. I think you ruined it. I think the most ridiculous thing I saw was like they're punishing him for his AEW run, which just does not seem like the best way to you know have talent on your roster. Like that just
Right.
doesn't make any sense. But I think even within the match, Meelz, Roman and Cody have a lot of chemistry together. And I think that was one thing that was readily apparent. But it's also that these two have rarely ever touched before that match and after that match at all. And I think there's an aura to these two being the biggest stars that these are the only times that they got physical this year. And it happened to be a match where you have the story and the desperation of Roman trying to keep his title. There's like little
Mhm.
nuances in the match that I've seen where Cody, wasn't able to he wasn't able to get the crossroads off, and he wasn't able to get like a visible kick out or a visible 3 count on Roman. Everybody gets the visible 3 count on Roman. Cody didn't get that. What's up with that? Like, what was it? Was it his time? Can he
Right.
come? Can he do it again? What is a story that can be told. And I think that in terms of a pure pro wrestling story, I think there's maybe 2 or 3 that can reach there. But this one, by and large, made me a fan. It made me remember why I'm a fan of this shit. I really love Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. Fantastic match. My match of the year.
My match of the year tugged my heartstrings in a big way. It it personifies everything I'm about. If you know I'm a big anime fan, and if you know I'm a big anime fan, you know about the power of friendship. My match of the year was Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus the Usos, the other main event of WrestleMania. Just seeing Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens in the main event of WrestleMania, seeing the Usos in the main event of WrestleMania. The Usos missed their first 10 WrestleManias and made it to the main event of WrestleMania. Just to hear the story and to see the story and kind of like see it all come together. I'm a sucker for a good tag team match. Good tag team match will beat anything any day of the week. Like I love a good tag team match. Um, all 4 of these guys came together. They pulled off something great. Pulled off something record-setting title reign that ended the moment it should have, I think. And I think we all imagined this would kind of happen, but to kind of like have it happen the way it happened, it
Mm-hmm.
being part of the story of like the beginning of the crumbling of the, well, it wasn't really the beginning, but it's like the major crack in the bloodline can be targeted from here. Just a great match. Sami Zayn on a roll, Kevin Owens on a roll, end of the match. Amazing. The Usos on a roll as well. Like I can't say much more good things about it. It was a great
Eh,
match.
We just knew that Cody was winning.
Oh yeah, he was like, "Oh okay, it's time.
we
It's a new
just
era now."
knew. We just knew that he was winning, and I think
Little
that
did
that
we know he gave us this so we could give us so we could
yeah,
get that.
exactly. And I've said this too. I said it in the chat. I think I said it too. I said we should have known that he wasn't going to win because they let them win. We should have known. There were so many things
Should
that
have
were
known.
there were so many things that were setting us up for this to happen, and then when we were still shocked because it like when you look back on everything that happened, it was like, no, we really should have known that they weren't gonna do that. They were gonna go left because not everybody can finish their story at the same time because we all have different stories. But my runner up, Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay at Wrestle Kingdom. I know a lot of people are gonna put their second match that they had later in the year. I think what was it? What was it? Which fucking I hate the AW pay per view names.
Yeah, me neither. I think it was
Was it,
Forbidden Door.
was it Forbidden Door? It was Forbidden
I
Door. With the
I think it was Forbidden Door. Yeah.
I didn't like
The
the overbooking of that match. That
yeah.
match was severely overbooked to me. I thought just as a straight wrestling match, I thought Kenny looked like a fucking star in the Wrestle Kingdom match. I think him returning to the Tokyo Dome and having that reaction, the story of him trying to outdo Osprey and really kind of like put his foot on Osprey's neck and just be like, "Yo, I'm the man, and I've always been the man here." I love a good story, and I thought the story they told here at Wrestle Kingdom was way stronger than the one that they did at Forbidden Door. I thought the match was
Forbidden
way
Door had a 40-minute match in the middle of a 14 match card. That's
yes,
insane.
yes, and I watched that one 2 or 3 times, and I don't like the callous intervention. I don't like all of that stuff at the end. I really liked the way that they presented it in New Japan and they did in AEW. I thought that they were trying to tie in too many story threads, and they just didn't need
Hmm.
to be there. Just let them have the fucking match. But in terms of just like the story, the athleticism, I thought it was the best Kenny had looked in years to me on that show. And I got to give it up. Like it was between this and Roman and Cody. Honestly, I could go either way with them, but that's my like 1B, if I could say like a 1B, like is that match. I love that match to death.
Absolutely. My runner up goes to Ilya Dragunov versus Carmelo Hayes at NXT
Mhm,
No Mercy.
mhm,
I think Ilya Dragunov is a major big match star on the horizon. I think when you look at the Gunther types and who's going to carry that mid card in the future, once Gunther decides he's going to be a world title man, Ilya Dragunov is your guy. He has not missed. This brought out a different. I think it. This was a match that truly tested Carmelo Hayes in a way that he hadn't been tested before. I mean, this is the second match, so he got his ass whooped the first time and won. But this
mhm.
second time, um, I think based on how 2.0 kind of run, Carmelo Hayes pretty much just ran up against developmental guys, Apollo Crews, various other people. Um, this was like really the first time he was tested in like, oh, you might die. Like this guy, he is not developmental. He is insane. And Ilya Dragunov he's just been amazing the entire year. I wish I could give him more praise on this. Um, Maybe it's because he's in NXT. Maybe it's because there's a lot more people um, that are in certain places than him. But Ilya Dragunov has just been amazing. So I wanted to at least highlight him, and I think that No Mercy match is a 5 star encounter for sure.
Yeah, I'm almost kinda mad that I don't have Ilya on my list enough, but it was just so much again, so much.
Yeah, I want to put him somewhere.
Yeah, it's just so much wrestling this year that, like, it's just very
Absolutely.
hard to do that, but what do the people say
The
before we
wait,
get
wait,
out
yeah, absolutely. The people said first response: Queen's Quest versus Odeyo Tai.
of here? Okay.
Loser leaves unit cage match. Stardom Sunshine 2023. I'm gonna have to check that out. Charlotte versus Rhea, night one. Gunther, Drew, Sheamus, triple threat mania.
That was good.
Roman versus Cody. Roman versus Cody. Sami and KO versus the Usos. Roman versus Cody. Rhea versus Charlotte. Rhea versus Charlotte. Usos versus KO and Sami. Gunther versus Drew, Sheamus. So it's Osprey versus Omega, Wrestle Kingdom. Roman versus Cody. Rhea versus Charlotte. Roman versus Cody. Ilya versus Carmelo. See, I'm there. Rhea Charlotte, Bloodline Civil War. Okay, I could.
That
That's
was a slept on one to me. That match is fantastic.
okay. Last 10 minutes of it's fire to me. The Usos, KO, Sammy, Roman versus Cody versus Roman. Hashtag Aura Fest. Um, Mello versus Dragunov 2. Cody versus Roman. Charlotte, Rhea, Roman Cody. So it looks like Roman Cody, Charlotte, Rhea.
Yeah.
Um, are the big winners here. But yeah,
All right.
listen, man,
Big
that's
episode.
yeah,
Yeah, that's it. So
great.
next week we have Tag Team of the Year, Feud of the Year, Best NXT Takeover of the Year, Best Raw Match of the Year, Best SmackDown Match of the Year, Best NXT TV Match of the Year, Hottest News Story, Worst Match, Worst Wrestler, Worst Feud, Worst Pay Per View, Most Memorable Moment, and Most Overrated. So we're getting negative next week, largely getting negative next week.
Most
So
negative show of the year.
yeah,
Absolutely.
y'all love it. We're gonna bring it to you, and our picks are spicy as well. So we hope that you guys have some equally spicy picks. Make sure you put them in for a chance to win a T-shirt. But thank you guys for listening. I want to get this show out for the patrons right now. So we'll see you guys next week. Have a fucking amazing Christmas. You know what I mean? Be safe. And yeah, for anything else you want to say, Mills?
Nah, Merry Christmas.
Yeah,
That's all I
man.
got to say.
Merry Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. And if you don't, just turn the show off. But thank you guys for listening. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.